Have you ever looked around and realized you have no one to call, not because you're disliked, but because you've quietly drifted away? Maybe it wasn't a choice, or maybe, deep down, it was because sometimes solitude doesn't feel like loneliness. It feels like safety. Today, we're exploring the psychology of people who have no friends, and why, for some, isolation isn't a problem, it's protection. The hidden mindset of the friendless. Psychologists in Europe call this the withdrawal paradox. It's when people retreat, not from hatred of others but from mental exhaustion. These individuals often have high emotional intelligence. They read people too deeply, feel their moods too strongly, and sense when something is fake instantly. So, while others talk to socialize, they talk to connect. And when that connection doesn't happen, they quietly disappear. It's not arrogance, it's sensitivity. Why solitude feels safer. In modern Western culture, independence is celebrated, but behind that, there's an unspoken truth. Many people have learned that closeness can hurt. They've been betrayed, judged, or emotionally drained. So now, their mind protects them by building invisible walls. They convince themselves, I'm fine alone, but deep down, their silence hides a craving, not for attention, but for someone who truly understands without pretending. The deep thinker's curse. Many of these friendless people are deep thinkers, philosophical, creative, analytical. Their thoughts go further than small talk can reach. They see patterns in behavior. You understand emotions others ignore, and often question things that society accepts blindly. This depth can make them appear distant, but in reality they're just existing at a quieter frequency. In European studies on solitude, psychologists found that people who think deeply often struggle with emotional integration. They feel more, but share less, and that gap slowly isolates them. The psychology behind disconnection. According to social psychology, having no friends doesn't always mean social failure. It can mean emotional evolution. When your awareness grows, you start seeing how superficial most relationships are. The conversations, the motives, the energy, it all begins to feel hollow. So you retreat, not to hide, but to recharge in your own company. In a way, these individuals are emotionally They process pain alone, heal quietly, and emerge stronger though misunderstood. The quiet truth. Here's the paradox. The people with no friends often make the best friends. Loyal, thoughtful, deep. But the world rarely earns their trust long enough to see it. So if you're one of them, don't see your solitude as a weakness. It's your mind's way of protecting your peace. In a world that often confuses noise with connection. Because sometimes, being alone doesn't mean you've lost connection. It means you've finally stopped pretending. Subscribe for more deep soul-touching insights.